What's going on YouTube? It's Kika here, bringing you some more Series 12 Wi-Fi battles with live commentary. It is the start of a new month, which means a new ranked season, and also a new team for us to start things off with. So today we are using this very cool Zacian Reshiram team built by Chirayu Gupta, who made it all the way to top 8 in the Milwaukee Regional, which is incredibly impressive. We're also both on Team India for World Cup, so that's even better, and so just a lot of really good things from Chirayu, both as a person and also as a player. So I am really excited to use this team, and it has a lot of really cool tech. So let's kind of talk through things. So first of all is Zacian. Zacian does seem pretty straightforward. The one really cool thing, right, is over Sacred Sword we have Brick Break. So when you're facing off against things like Pesky Grimmsnarls, having the ability just to immediately get rid of those screens is super helpful. Also 3 attacks with Play Rough as well. So that can really help against things like Palkia, which sometimes can cause problems. So next up is Venusaur. It is a pretty standard Venusaur. 3 attack with no sleep powder. So that is actually, I think, a really interesting choice, right? Like rather than say, hey, I'm going to risk those games on a 75% chance, I'm just going to play better to the point where I don't need to do that. So I think that that's pretty cool. The Life Orb lets you hit really hard as opposed to a Focus Sash, and I think that hopefully we can get some really good damage out of this Venusaur. Next up, we do have the star of the show, Reshiram. I don't think I've actually used Reshiram in Series 12, or if I have, it has been a very long time, so I'm excited for its return maybe on the channel. So Assault Vest, I think, is pretty standard here, right? We are going with the best amount of coverage. I think Ancient Power is also really cool tech outside of Max, potentially to get that huge boost in every stat. Not always guaranteed, but you know, sometimes it's nice to have that. And also, just having access to Turbo Blaze really helps against things like Shedinja and being able to hit it without worry of ally switch and whatnot. Next up, we do have the Landorus. So Landorus, once again, another really great max option. I think it's pretty standard. White Herb, obviously a great choice because of the fact that you're able to kind of deal better with those Intimidates. Also, sorry about the lighting. I just realized how weird it is. Yeah, things are just kind of weird for right now. I'm going to try and adjust the lighting a little bit before we get started. Next up is Sableye. So Sableye, obviously a great partner, right? Having access to Foul Play, Quash, Will-O-Wisp, and then Sunny Day, I think is a really great one, right? Being able to manually set that sun for both Venusaur and Reshiram, and also kind of do it in a surprising way. So even if your opponent wants to like switch in a Kyogre, that's not really an option. And finally, we have Thundurus. So this is really cool in the fact that there are 2 support Pokemon, right? With Prankster, you don't normally see that. So this Thundurus is really cool, right? Having access to Eerie Impulse, Thunderbolt, Electro Web, and Taunt. So hopefully that can play a role. And with that, definitely make sure to check out Chirayu. And with that, let's just get rock and rolling and move into the first game. All right, battle number 1, and hopefully the lighting is a little bit better at this point. Definitely make sure to subscribe so we can get to 1 billion subscribers and I can afford better lighting equipment. So looking at my opponent's first team, it is Zacian Groudon. It is Zacian Groudon Thundurus with Cherim, a Metagross, and Suicune. So this is really interesting. I think Reshiram and Landorus both feel very good here, right? We do have just a lot of damage overall. So do we have... What are the support moves we have on this Thundurus? We have Eerie Impulse. Okay, so that's not really going to help us here. I think Sableye, and the question then is, what do we want to lead with? Do we want to lead with Reshiram or do we want to lead with Landorus? I like Reshiram, Landorus, and Zacian in the back. Yeah, I like that option. I think it gives us the most support, right? My opponent's team being very physical is also very nice. One thing we do have to worry about is potential support Thundurus, right? Like there are a lot of attackers, so I don't necessarily want to commit a max too early in the event that it is Eerie Impulse Thundurus and my Reshiram suddenly becomes useless. So we are going to see Thundurus lead as well as Groudon. So I definitely would like to go for a burn on the Groudon over the Thundurus, right? I think that obviously puts on more pressure onto my Reshiram, so being able to deal with that is important. So going for the Will-O-Wisp here, and then I'm going to go for the Ancient Power onto the Thundurus. like I said, I just want to be wary of a support Thunderous. And so having sort of this ability to play it slow, I think is fine, right? Like we don't necessarily need to max. The one thing to be a little bit weary of is, right, if they go for a Groudon max and immediately max Quake, but we aren't committing our max yet, right? And we still have Landorus in the back. So I think overall, we're just trying to set us up for the best possible position. But I do think burning the Groudon is important, right? We do have Zacian in the back as well as Landorus. We are going to see the Thunderous switch. So that's a really nice thing to see here, as we are going to see Cherrim come out. So Cherrim, a little bit scary for sure, right? Being able to offer that Flower Gift, but also we do connect the Will-O-Wisp, right? So this is going to significantly help neutralize the damage on this Groudon, especially because of the fact that it's not maxing. So we are going to see, yep, the Precipice Blade is going to come out. The question is, how much is it going to do? That is more than I would have liked, in all honesty. What we can do, right, is we do have the ability to go for a... Actually, no. I'm going to go for a Foul Play onto this Groudon and then swap into Landorus. I want to really take advantage of the fact that... what's it called? I want to take advantage of the fact that the Thunderous isn't out right now. So we can fire off the Intimidate without fear of a potential Defiant boost. So I think that that's going to be really important. And also, right, like we want to continue to neutralize this Groudon, because I don't really want it to be a max option with Cherrim. And so this sets us up in a position where we do have the ability just to go for an Airstream onto this Cherrim the next turn. I do have to be a little bit wary of a double up onto Sableye, but I'm hoping the Intimidate will help us survive. So we are going to see a Helping Hand come out here. So definitely going to be a little bit scary, but Precipice Blade's going to come out, not going to affect Landorus, and Sableye unfortunately is going to, is going to miss, which is huge for us, right? Like we are able to now just put on a lot more pressure. And now at this point, I'm going to go for another Foul Play onto the Groudon, as well as an Airstream onto this Cherrim. I think if we're able to win in terms of speed, we're just going to be in a fantastic position, especially with Sableye out, right? Like we can Will-O-Wisp the Thunderous in the back. If there's a Zacian in the back, we're in really great shape. Also, if it is support Thunderous, right? Like what is Thunderous really going to do into a Landorus, right? Not much. So really trying to sort of set us up, making it so we can reduce the amount of damage this Groudon can do. So I think Helping Hand should cancel out the boost, as we are going to see a swap out from this Landorus. This looks like it is going to be Zacian. Zacian is totally going to be fine with me, right? I can just go for the Will-O-Wisp if you want to try and like pivot around a little bit, and being able to set up this Airstream I think is going to be really important. Also, we do have Rock Slide and just a bunch of other options. So I think we are sitting in a very strong position overall, right? Like I think we are maxing at the right time. We've neutralized a very big threat in Groudon, and so we can just really start applying pressure. The question though is, what is this Cherrim going to do? We are going to see a Protect. Protect I think is totally fine with me. I'm fine to get this Airstream boost onto Landorus to ensure that it is going to be the fastest thing on the field, and that is a lot of damage. That is a very big chunk of damage. I know you have Thunderous in the back. Oh, and we are going to connect with a Foul Play, so that's actually really nice. Doing a pretty sizable chunk into this Landorus. I mean, not into this Landorus, into the Zacian. I'm going to go for the Will-O-Wisp here. And I'm fine to... I'm trying to think. Do I want to Quake? Do I care? Is my question. I'm going to actually Airstream here with the idea that I should be able to survive a Behemoth Blade. As yeah, we are going to see the swap. This should be into Thunderous, right? It is going to be into Groudon. So Groudon ends up working out fine, right? Like you are already burned. We are going to be able to get rid of this Cherrim though. So that really is going to put us in a great position, right? We're saying, hey, you no longer get your attack boost as well as your special defense boost. Not that the special defense boost really does matter. This is going to be a little bit awkward as our last turn of max approaches, because of the fact that Landorus is a little bit awkward outside of max. So we'll kind of have to play around that. We are going to see the Thundurus come out. I do want to burn this Thundurus because I don't know what it can do. So I really want to hit you with a Will-O-Wisp as well as a Rockfall. I think just playing it safe is really what I want to do here. Also, what's nice is the fact that Zacian, because of the chip, will probably go down to an Earthquake. So we can do that. If we finish on... I'm trying to think if it's worth sacrificing the speed boost on Landorus to... what's it called? Go for an Intimidate cycle, but I think it sort of will really depend. I do, though, like I said, want to try and get a burn onto this Thundurus and get as much damage as possible. We probably will lose Sableye, but Landorus at +2, right, is going to continue to be the fastest thing on the field. If Rockfall can do a big enough chunk, we can make it so... what's it called? We can make it so we can just go for Rock Slide, as well as have Zacian there to sort of put on pressure. As we are going to see the max, it is going to be Groudon. So this also really suggests to me that you are support Thundurus. You're probably going straight for a KO onto what's it called? My Sableye. As we are going to see a Protect come out. So definitely a little bit unfortunate, right? Like you are going to be able probably to get the knockout onto Sableye, going for something like a Max Quake. We will connect with the Rockfall though, so that's going to be at least really nice for us. And we also then do have the advantage. Wow, that did quite a bit. So what I want to do actually is I want to, like, I still don't know if this is support Thundurus, right? And I think that is definitely something to be considerate of, as we are unfortunately going to lose Sableye, and right, like my opponent really needs Sableye gone. So what I actually want to do here is I'm gonna bring out Zacian and basically bait an attack. I'm gonna bring out Reshiram. I think Reshiram is fine here. We don't need to necessarily bait out an attack. One of the issues though is the fact that this Groudon is faster, but it is burned. So what I want to do is I want to go for a Rock Slide, basically trying to confirm what kind of Thundurus this is. And then I'm going to click Blue Flare into Groudon. I don't expect to get it, but there is a chance, right? Like you might choose to target down my Landorus just to try and get rid of it or get some damage on it, or like not expect Reshiram to survive the turn. But I really like don't want to risk like bringing out Zacian and getting it paralyzed and then getting one shot by a Max Quake. So I think this sort of gives me really the best option for dealing with that. We are potentially making it a 3v2, but I'm willing to take that risk, as we are just going to see the Rock Slide come out and connect. So a big knockout onto this Thundurus, which is huge to see, right? Like that makes it now a quote-unquote 3v2, as yeah, the Max Quake is just going to come out here onto my Reshiram to get the knockout. And so what I probably want to do here is I'm trying to think of what makes the most sense. I think going for an Earthquake as well as a Protect. I think Earthquake Protect is fine. Their Zacian looks like it's in range of being knocked out anyway, right? Like when you look at how low it is, we're definitely the fastest thing on the field. So I'm fine to go for a Protect and Earthquake, just trying to get as much damage as possible, take advantage of that speed. And also, like, if I have to Earthquake into my own Zacian, it's not necessarily the end of the world for me, because of the fact that I do feel really confident in things overall. So I'm going to go for a Protect here, as well as just an Earthquake, just trying to get off as much damage as possible. One other thing we could have done, I was going to say we could have gone for a Fly and a Behemoth Blade into their Groudon, but I don't really want to risk that. And also this way we're making it right so you are out of max and you're forced to Precipice Blade into me. And so we are going to see that our Zacian potentially is faster, right? We're going to actually see no Protect, so that's really great for us, right? We are just going to be able to fire off this Earthquake, going to pick up a knockout onto this Zacian, and so at this point, right, like it's a Groudon that's burned. We have Behemoth Blade. We have this fast Landorus, so we are going to have to take this Max Quake through Protect, but not a big deal. So I think my opponent did play a little bit aggressively, but there was no, in my opinion, no punishment for this, because even if they had gone for Protect, we get Chip onto the Groudon, and we finish off the Groudon's max and are able to go from there. So feeling very strongly about things, right? Like your max is going to finish at this point, and so we very easily can just go for a double up into you with a Behemoth Blade, which can't miss, as well as we can, we can Click Fly. I don't want to risk an Earthquake for whatever reason, but it looks like they are going to cancel. So overall, I think a really great first battle. I think we were able to sort of pivot out well. We never did figure out what kind of Thundurus it is, which is a little bit of a shame, but I think it was Defiant. So whatever, it is what it is. Like I said, a really great first battle, and let's just keep rocking and rolling and move to the next one. All right, battle number 2, and it is another Sun team. This time it is Groudon Zacian. It is Groudon Zacian, Charizard, Grimmsnarl, Rillaboom, and Slowbro. So Slowbro is definitely a little scary. So that is something to watch out for, right? Being able to kind of set up very effectively. So we do need something for that. I think though Landorus is a really great option overall, right? Having just an incredible matchup into Sun. Sableye is a lead I do like a lot. I think Sableye is good here. Zacian, and then I'm tempted to bring Venusaur just for Slowbro. Right? It doesn't really do much else. Right? It has a favorable matchup in a Groudon. That's really it. I could bring Reshiram instead. Reshiram does have a favorable matchup into more things. So I'm going to bring Reshiram in the back. I think my game plan really is to, if they bring Slowbro, is to target everything around it. And then just kind of nuke from there. We also do have Sableye with access to Will-O-Wisp, which I think can be really huge, as well as Quash, right? So we can quash a potential Charizard and go for a Rockfall if that's something my opponent is going to go for, as we are going to see a Grimmsnarl Charizard come out. So this is, like I said, the ideal circumstance. We do have to potentially worry about a Spirit Break from the Grimmsnarl, but even then, right, like it's not a big deal because we are Focus Sash. So I'm fine to go for a Rockfall as well as a Quash onto this Charizard, just to say, hey, you basically have to switch. I think Airstream would have been a fine play to make as well, just given the fact that I do 100% expect a switch, but I don't really want to risk that, as we are just going to see a G-Max Charizard. So my opponent really committing, which suggests to me that you have to be going for a Max Guard. You have to Max Guard this turn and hope that I'm not Focus Sash, and then go for a double. I think that really is going to be sort of your only out in this scenario, right? Like you have to Max Guard, you have to bring me low, and then you have to get a second Max Guard, which is fine with me, right? Like that's going to be 2 turns of your max where you haven't done anything. So, right, like that, right? If you're spending 2 turns of your max just going for guards, like, okay. We're gonna see a Reflect come out. So this suggests to me that you might be Chartyberry, as the Quash gonna come out, Rockfall. So yeah, we are gonna see a combination of Chartyberry as well as the Protect, or not the Protect, the Reflect. So it's gonna take it pretty well, unfortunately. I'm also hoping though that we can reduce the damage enough from this attack that we can be in a really good position, as Wildfire gonna come out onto the Sableye. Poor little Sableye does survive. It's not gonna survive, unfortunately, the resulting damage, right? Between it's not gonna survive the residual damage. So what do I want to do here? I want to bring out Reshiram. No, I don't want to bring out Reshiram because of this Grimmsnarl. I'm going to bring out Zacian here. I want to go for a Protect, and I want to Airstream really badly, but I don't think Airstream will kill, especially given, what's it called? Especially given the fact that they have a Reflect Up, right? They're at under half with a Charty Berry. I mean, that's ×4 super effective. I'm going to go for this and a Protect, expecting a potential Thunderwave, which, right, like, I feel like Thunderwave is something to be wary of. We are going to go for a Protect. We should see that. We are going to take a decent chunk, unfortunately, as I think they made a very good play there going for the Max Guard, as we are going to see, yeah, it is going to be the T-Wave, and right, like, you, unfortunately, yeah, are going to get that off. And so I need to switch out, right? I can't really afford to lose Zacian here. So I'm going to go for another Airstream. I'm going to go for an Airstream again onto this Charizard, and I'm going to switch out into Reshiram, right? I know that I can take a hit. I think getting Reshiram a boost could be really important. And if Reshiram gets paralyzed, it's not necessarily the end of the world. Also, Reshiram doesn't take Wildfire Chip, which I think is going to be really important. We do have to worry about Spirit Break, but I think that that'll still be fine, right? We do have ways to get around that. The real tricky part is the fact that we can't go for an Earthquake because Reshiram has the Assault Vest. But let's kind of see how this turn plays out. I think that the Max Guard turn 2 is really smart. Like I said, if we have to take a Paralysis on Reshiram, I'm okay with that. There is no Sun, so we should be able to survive a hit, as the T-Wave, yeah, unfortunately is going to come out. So I do expect to see a Wildfire into that slot, right? Just saying, hey, this is Charizard. We're going to see, yep, the Wildfire going to come out onto the Landorus. So definitely a little bit less than ideal, but we are going to be able to fire off this Airstream. It is unfortunately not going to be enough for the knockout, which is less than ideal. Right, because now, right, like, Charizard is going to be able to hang around for another turn. We can go for a Rock Slide and just try to put on some damage onto this Grimmsnarl. Right, we now have access to a Rock Slide as well as Blue Flare, so it is definitely a tricky position, especially with Landorus so low. But we do have an Airstream boost, and I think that that really is going to make a difference. So I'm fine to go for a Rock Slide here, as well as a Blue Flare onto the Grimmsnarl. Just trying to say, if we can get a double knockout, we're in really good position. I don't think that Reshiram... Oh, I was like, did that miss? Right, we are going to see the Spirit Break come out from this Grimmsnarl. I'm hoping that because there is no light... Oh, you could... Okay, Reshiram is going to connect with Blue Flare, so there is no light screen up, so that's actually really huge, right? Because what it means is you, what's it called? Don't set up a light screen, and you don't go for damage onto my Reshiram. Landorus is a little bit low right now, so definitely something to be worried about. One thing that we have to consider, right, is Groudon and Zacian in the back, right? So we are going to see this Groudon coming out. So I don't know if Reshiram is faster. So what we're going to do is we're going to go for a Protect. We're going to Protect with Landorus, and I say you're going to go for damage onto me, and then I'm going to risk the Blue Flare on Zacian. I think I can win against the Groudon. So I'm going to say you're going to Precipice Blades and Blade into my Landorus. We are going to see the Landorus go first for the Protect. This lets us go for a potential... Alright, we're going to see the Sacred Sword come out into the Reshiram. Oh my god, that did a lot of damage. Precipice Blades. We do need a miss right here. That would be really great. Survey says no miss. So we are unfortunately going to lose Reshiram. We do have Zacian though. So that really is helpful here, right? We can bring out Zacian. And so what I'm thinking is... what do we want to do? We want to go for the Earthquake. Do we Earthquake? I'm going to go for the Earthquake and go for a Protect here. So we still... Can we... This will really depend on how this turn goes. We are going to see Protect come out from them. I think that was really obvious. I think what we should have done actually is fly and Behemoth Blade the Groudon. Just because like this is a very obvious play, but I think that sometimes we have to just go for those obvious plays. So going to get some good chip damage onto this Groudon. We should see a Fire Punch, yeah. So not even chancing it onto the Landorus. The Landorus is unfortunately going to go down, and at this point, right, like Groudon isn't in range of a Behemoth Blade. We could, I mean, what we go for a double crit. That really is our out. So we have to be fast. We need to be faster than their Zacian. We need to. Okay, so we're also not faster than their Zacian. Otherwise, I was gonna say we need to be faster. KO their Groudon with a crit, or they could just crit us. That wasn't a crit. That was just a lot of damage. So definitely a little bit unfortunate, right? Like it's always frustrating. I think that there are ways that I could have played that better. But I think my opponent was just really able to outposition me and utilize their max really well. So it is what it is. Let's just keep rocking and rolling and move to the next one. All right, last battle of the day, and it is Calyrex Xerneas. It is Kingler, Indeedee, Calyrex, Xerneas, Incineroar, and Kartana. I like Thundurus a lot. I like Reshiram a lot. I like Zacian and Sableye. I don't really see us getting up many max Quake or max. I mean, Landorus is 10. I think the Assault Vest is important. So I need to be worried about Indeedee. I need to be worried about Indeedee Xerneas. I think Indeedee Xerneas, though, is fine because I can Electro Web and Quake. And then I can basically just keep doing that. I can Quake to match all of the Xerneas boosts. And then, yeah, try and get it to the point where you're really not doing much with the with the Xerneas. We also do have Zacian, right? So if we can lower the speed twice, we can just make it so Xerneas's damage really is irrelevant because Zacian can just one-shot it. So I think that having access to that is really advantageous. We are going to see a lead of Kingler. Okay, Kingler scares me. Okay, so you can lower my speed. Lowering my speed is fine. I don't know if a Quake will KO. I'm gonna go for an Electro Web, and 130, 110. Actually, I want to just get rid of this Kingler, in all honesty. I'm just trying to do damage into it. I'm fine. I'm fine potentially getting parting shotted because of the fact that yeah, fearing the unknown. We are also just gonna see an instant swap, which in my mind, like, that works out great, right? Like, we're about to do a ton of damage onto this Kingler. We're going to hopefully get the I'm hoping to get the knockout, right? Like, I don't think Kingler is that fast. Oh no. Kingler is moving before my Reshiram. So Kingler is faster than I realized. Do we have speed on this Reshiram? While these animations are happening, we have some speed, but apparently not enough, which is fine. We're gonna get the max off. I just need my Thundurus to survive the turn. because then we can Eerie Impulse into the Calyrex, and I think if we can severely neutralize how much damage the Calyrex is doing, that's really great. I think you also have to be really, or I think my opponent does have to be a little bit careful, right? Is that Wakanberry? Okay, so it's Wakanberry Kingler. Still does a, oh my goodness. That was reduced damage. So we're gonna see the Foam Burst come out onto my Reshiram, which is great, right? We are gonna be able to eat that up. And at this point, right, we can fire off an Eerie Impulse onto this Calyrex, which is going to be really huge for us. This Wormwind, I'm hoping finishes it off, given how much that Thundurus did. As yeah, so Kingler gonna go down here. So our speed is dropped, but really not a big deal. So we are able to get rid of their max turn 1. We know that they have Incin in the back. So Incin coming out could be a little bit scary, right? Like it can play a supportive role. If I knew how weak Kingler was, I probably would have... Oh, they also knew I wasn't Defiant because of Incineroar. So that was silly of me. But yeah, so Kingler gone is huge. So we just really need to figure out where to go from here, as we are going to see the Incin come back out. I think that that makes the most sense, right? You're just trying to do as much damage as possible on, or you're basically trying to fake out into my Thundurus. I'm gonna still click Eerie Impulse onto the Calyrex, and I am going to Rockfall. I'm gonna Rockfall the Incin. Rockfall to break the Sash on Calyrex, I think is going to be really important. We are going to see the obvious fake out come out onto Thundurus. That's fine. Astral Barrage should be coming out at this point. Yep, we should be able to. We do survive with Thundurus, which is huge. Rockfall going to be able to come out here, doing quite a hefty chunk, hopefully, into the Incineroar. It is going to be a nice little 2-shot, and more importantly, it is going to break this Sash on Calyrex, which I think is important. We are going to see the berry come out from Incin. The point of this quote-unquote exercise wasn't necessarily to knock out the Incin. It was more just to break the Sash. Obviously, I could have just attacked into Calyrex, and some people will say that was a better call. I'm going to go for an Eerie Impulse here, and then I'm going to go for a Wormwind onto the Calyrex, just to try and get as much damage as possible. We are going to set it up so we do have Sableye in the back. We can go for... I don't know if a Brick Break will KO Incin from the range it's at, but we are going to be a little bit hopeful for that, as we are going to get some good damage out onto this what's it called? This Calyrex, as we are going to just absolutely take the hit on our... what's it called? On our Reshiram. So we are going to now, it is faster. Everything is faster than this Reshiram, man. Wormwind going to come out, though. That should hopefully be enough to, yeah, we're just going to obliterate this Calyrex. So that's great. We're going to get an attack drop onto this Incineroar. So that's also really good for us, as I do expect a Xerneas in the back. And so being able just to go for a, I think I have to Behemoth Blade into the slot. I can't really afford to get that call wrong. And then, oh, because of the Foam Burst. That's like, why is this Reshiram so slow? Yeah, so we did see the Citrus Berry. I think I do have to, like I said, go for the damage onto the Xerneas. We do have Quash. So Quash makes things really interesting, right? Like, we can play this a little bit differently. God, I wish I had Sableye out right now because of Taunt. I'm fine to go for a Behemoth Blade here, as well as just a pure Earth Power onto this Incineroar. One thing to be very wary of is it... Okay, it looks like they were going to cancel. I was going to say what they could have done is they could have just... No, because Zacian is faster. So I think it still works out. So overall, I think a really good set of battles. I'm glad we were able to pull it out in the end. Definitely make sure to check out Chirayu. They make amazing content. They also stream on Twitch, so that's always a fun thing. I should get back to that at some point. Make sure to subscribe to me so we can get to 1 billion subscribers. We will be playing more with this team next time, so definitely look forward to that. And with that, until next time, I hope all of you are wonderful, and I'll see you then.